Welcome to the Financial Rebellion podcast. I'm your host, Todd Romer. We started this podcast for two specific reasons. Number one, we've been helping thousands of people across the country through the speaking tour and the Financial Rebellion newsletter, how to rebel against traditional financial norms that are not working. We teach money way differently, how to dream differently, how to overcome limiting beliefs about yourself and money, how to save and spend money differently to create less stress and increase that control that you desire. And we teach how to create significant wealth over time by learning more about investing and so much more. Some of our guests come on and show you what their side hustle is about, how they're creating additional income, and even turning those side hustles into legit businesses. And we have other expert guests that are teaching money the Financial Rebellion way, like we do too. The second reason we started the podcast is we're big fans of credit unions. And there are millions of people across the country that are still unsure about what the difference between a credit union and a bank actually is. Well, when you actually manage and do money the Financial Rebellion way, it lines up beautifully with being a member of a credit union. Now, let's get into this episode of Financial Rebellion. Welcome to this episode of Financial Rebellion. Very excited to have a former, it is former, right? Are you at University of Dayton or did you graduate, Ashton?
Just graduated this May, yep.
You graduated May. Okay, so you are a former University of Dayton Flyer. Go Flyers. Very excited to have Ashton come on to this podcast. Again, the Financial Rebellion podcast. We are all about helping really 18 to 34-year-olds and older learn how to be financially rebellious, to kind of go against traditional financial norms that are not working for decades, to basically get them to a life, get you to a life that you desire. And we're also big fans of credit unions, as noted in the beginning of this podcast with the music in the background. So let's get after it now. Ashton Kooken, welcome to the Financial Rebellion podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be here.
Awesome. And I know we were talking off air that you had a little run-in with a possible tornado, or maybe it was a tornado, on your way up to Columbus, Ohio. So glad you're alive, number one. And, Ashton, it's been fun having people, not just from University of Dayton. We have people all over the country coming on the podcast, sharing different stories of entrepreneurship. Sometimes we have people starting a side hustle. And yours is as an entrepreneur, yours has a very personal meaning to why you started your company called Soterix. So I'd love for you to share that, Ashton, as to why you started Soterix in the first place, and tell us a little bit more about it too.
Yeah. So it kind of started off as my capstone class at the University of Dayton. Me and my team were just surfing through different issues that were currently out there that weren't being solved. We first found a technology that was able to detect if athletes are fatigued. And just my personal background, I've had a lot of personal experiences with death on the road due to people not being fully alert, one being my sister, another being a friend that's very close to me. Their dad passed away in a semi-accident. So in that year, actually, I had just gotten in a car accident from falling asleep behind the wheel. So kind of the stars just kind of all aligned, and I thought, hey, if this can detect fatigue in athletes, what's stopping it from detecting people driving? So I kind of just made the connection there and started diving into the harder things there and the development wise, and started tailoring that technology towards that purpose.
Yeah, that's, again, a tough experience that you've had to share with your sister and all that. But you have taken that and you are creating an in-ear wearable device, right? Can tell us more about that it's for, you said primarily for truck drivers, those who have long haul routes. So tell us more about the specific technology behind this in-ear wearable device that you're creating.
Yeah, so it's 4 key sensors that we're working with, and we figured what's the thing that could be easily integrated into everyday life. So we went with the truck driving route just because we thought it could be easy to integrate into their systems already. The headset is something they already currently use, so it's just something that easily snaps onto their head, plugs into their ear, and it's picking up biometrical data through 4 sensors: PPG, IMU, HRV, and a pulse oximeter. So through those 4 sensors, we're able to run those through an algorithm and pick up data that's able to detect if someone's fallen asleep or having a medical emergency before it ever is able to happen.
Wow. How far are you to market with this particular product? How close?
We're looking
how
at
far along? How close are you to market?
Yeah, we're looking at launching pilots here in the next 4 months. And then after that, we want to take what we've learned from those pilots and all the people's experience through not only the fleet managers, but also the drivers and how they liked it, what they didn't like, and taking their advice and tailoring it towards a better product. And then hopefully launching to market within the next year.
That's great. And I love, by the way, maybe you can't see this, but your cat was walking behind you on top of your bookshelf. Classic. This is
Yeah. She likes to join sometimes.
Hey, give me some notoriety is what your cat said. So you won some pretty significant dollars too with the flyer pitch competitions. Tell us about that and how you've been able to generate the cash to keep this business idea moving.
Yeah, where my cat's actually where the 2 checks from the flyer pitch are sitting. We won $50,000 from them. And we've been able to really help move this project forward, not only obtaining some of the initial technology so we could get it in our hands and just do the testing, but also handing that over to manufacturers and having some dollars left over to pay them to get this in the right form factor and add the things that were missing that we really needed to make this product what it is today. So it's been a blessing. Also, with winning that, you also get advisors from the EC Center that are really dedicated to helping launch small businesses forward. So we've had their experience and their advice to help move us forward. And it's been very valuable for us and something that we've been blessed to have. A lot of smart people down at the EC Center.
Yeah, for sure. And you say we, us. Who else is on your team helping you build this?
Yeah, so it's me and 2 other people, Charlie and Nubia, 2 great, excellent minds that I was blessed to be partnered with throughout my entrepreneurship capstone class at the University of Dayton. They've really given a different insight and different perspective on things that I wouldn't normally see, and it's been great working with them.
Okay, every entrepreneur goes through this. I still go through it as we're building a lot of pretty cool platforms with Financial Rebellion. When the fear and doubt pop in, it's not a matter of if, it's when. The fear and doubt, what do you do? What are you doing to push that out?
Yeah, so like you said, it's just a matter of when, not if. So my big thing is just accepting that is a possibility and realizing that fear is a part of it. So if you go on ignoring it, acting like everything's good, that fear is going to end up coming out somewhere else in your life. So you really need to think through that fear and accept that that's a real possibility. And once you've kind of done that, you can really just move forward and have confidence that, yeah, this fear is real, but I have confidence in myself that I can push through. And even if this does happen, I've already contemplated it and understand that this is a risk that I'm willing to take. And it just allows you to dedicate that focus to areas that you need it to be and not sitting in that fear and doubt.
Yeah, it's great. Ashton, what have you learned about yourself through this process? Because people that are listening and watching, whatever age they are, male or female, we always share that to be financially rebellious, it means taking some risk. And that 99.9% of that risk is not something they're going to look back and go, God, that was a complete failure. It's impossible. They're going to learn things about themselves that they've never learned before. What about you? What have you learned about yourself through this process of building Soterix?
Yeah, I've learned really just to have confidence in myself. There's going to be a lot of people out there that tell you that this can't be done or it's not even a possibility. and really just to believe in your vision that you have and believe that bigger picture. Not everyone can see that bigger picture, especially what you're personally seeing. So if you can just really hone in on that picture that you have in mind and just do everything you can to make that happen, write down a very detailed plan of how you want to get to that vision and just follow that script and don't listen to what the other people are saying. Yes, it's good to get advice from other people and take in wisdom, especially if you're very new to this like me. I take all the wisdom I can get, but it's also important to take things with a grain of salt and make sure you're not relying too much on other people's opinions and really believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, entrepreneurs are trying to do something new usually, and it's okay. Some people haven't figured out the way that you want to do it. And maybe your way is the correct way or a more efficient way. So just trust in yourself and really pursue the avenues that you want to pursue.
I'm reminded often when my daughter Mia and I used to watch The Profit or Shark Tank when she was about 14, 15 years old. And she said to me, Dad, everything's taken. All the ideas are taken. There can't be anything new. And, I kind of chuckled inside, right? And what would you say, again, to those who are listening, who have a particular skill that maybe they don't actually know can lead to monetization of that skill, or for those who want to kind of see what else, other niches are there that I might be able to get into? What would you tell that person who's kind of hesitant, kind of just not ready to jump off the wall yet because of hesitancy and fear? What would you tell them?
I would say to really just take that risk. I mean, the biggest thing that happens is you fail, but if you fail, there's so much that you can learn. You never truly fail. That value that you gain from not taking that risk and what you learn through that process, you can apply through any amounts of life, and you can always go back and get another job. And the fact that you've been willing to take that risk, a lot of jobs actually see that as a value, and now you become more of an asset to them because you're willing to take bigger risks and do things that normal people aren't supposed to do. So I think not letting that risk or fear hold you back and really just taking that leap of faith, especially while you're young. If you have the resources and you're able to fail sooner than later, it's a tremendous thing. That's kind of been my mindset graduating college, fresh out of here, blessed to have no debt. I'm like, let's take this risk now rather than 10 years from now when maybe I have a kid or a family that I have to worry about. So
The response, and I've asked this question to many people on the podcast. You're the first one to say, if you fail, which isn't really failure, and you want to kind of look at other jobs, someone who wants to hire you will be like, let's put his resume to the top because Ashton has tried something and he's actually gave it his all. So that's the kind of person that I'd want to hire, right? So love that response. Okay, we're gonna say this in the beginning. I get excited sometimes on my podcast, and some people who are listening and watching going, really, because they know me. And but I forgot to ask you what your best and worst as an icebreaker. What has been your best? We're going to take a shift of gears here. What's been your best and worst money move for you? You're in your early to mid 20s. Tell me one good money move and your worst money move that you've made in the last few years.
Yeah, so I'd say my best one, the biggest misconception with entrepreneurs, you need to move fast. While that is true, you need to make sure that you're making a wise decision. And a lot of people in the market will push you to make a quick decision. So make sure you're slowing down and understanding what that decision is that you're making, as if it's really worth it. I've probably saved myself just in the last month $30,000 just from not pulling the trigger when everyone around me is saying you need to go, go, go. Really weighing my options and looking at other possibilities. Sometimes there's routes that don't show up right away when you're first looking for it, but as you keep diving into that research and looking at other avenues you can pursue, stuff will just appear out of nowhere. So don't be too quick to decisions. While an entrepreneur, you do need to be fast. You don't need to be necessarily as fast as some people push you to be. With that being said, kind of toes in my worst money move. I had a buddy, he hit big off crypto. I think in one night he made like $140,000. And he was that night he was telling me to put into it, and I was like, nah, I don't know. And then I saw him hit big, and I was like, okay, this is something I need to get on board with. So I made a quick decision, I was listening to people pressure me into it, and the carpet got pulled the next day, and I lost all my money. So making those quick decisions sometimes can come back and bite you in the butt. So
You're not alone in that crypto sphere of meme coins and coins that maybe don't have much utility and they're just kind of pumping and dumping, right? So, been there and done that on individual stocks way back in the day that were called penny stocks. So many, many, many years ago. So, thanks for sharing your best and worst money move. As we just have a few minutes left, I want to just ask you, love what you're doing with your business and want to support you. And you're going to be featured in the upcoming newsletter, Financial Rebellion, that goes out weekly to thousands of people. So just know that too. Use it as PR. I hope you do, because people need to know about what young people are doing. And you're going to be influencing and inspiring people one way or another. And I love your heart in this, by the way, for the reasons you're doing it. That is a big deal. A lot of times we tell entrepreneurs, and I've been there, done that too. When I started, is you think about it's all about the money. If you're going into a business and it's all about the money, good luck with that, right?
yeah,
That will come upon being successful, and you've got a vision, you've got a product that you want to help save lives. So that's just a fun dual road you're on, man. I just want to congratulate you for where you are at this point. But I want to, again, switch gears a little bit, because we have been doing street videos recently. We plan to do more of people who are anywhere from age 19 to 29, just asking them random money questions, not to get them or, gotcha, just more about why financial rebellion exists, because the marketplace of traditional financial education is just not cutting it. It's not doing much. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions just to see where you're at.
yeah.
Can you share the difference between a credit union and a bank? What are the differences? Do you know that?
Difference? I'm going to be honest. I don't know the difference. I do know one yields a lot more interest. So that's been what's persuaded me to move towards credit unions, is the interest that I can gain on it. Besides that, I actually do not know.
You are among millions of people that don't know. So do not feel anything except I just don't know. And what credit union, by the way, what credit union are you with?
I'm with Wright-Patt. And I'm to be honest, I've been listening to you quite a bit too. So you've been persuading me to lean more towards credit unions as well. So it's been a big driving factor of why we've moved towards it.
That's great. They can help you with your business, by the way, too. That's another misnomer. So credit unions can help you with that. We're not anti-bank. We're just, we tell it like it is, and we get real with people. You know why? Because hundreds of people, when we made the switch from Young Money University brand to Financial Rebellion, they said, Ashton, yes, love this title, because we're tired of being sick and tired of kind of making our way through our 20s. The economy's a little shaky always. It doesn't matter, by the way, who's in the office in the White House. It doesn't matter at all. The economy is going to do its thing. And housing, inflation. So they just want to be told, tell me what to do. What do the wealthy do? How do I manage my money better? So love to hear that you moved to a credit union, not because a bank is a bad place to bank with, just there's different needs that you can have from a credit union. So you did answer a little bit correctly. Yes, higher yields on savings accounts, interest rates higher on savings accounts and checking, and lower interest rates on things like personal loans, mortgages, and car loans. So that's a big deal. And then you're a member owner of a credit union, by the way. You just become a member owner. And all profits made from a credit union, they make profits, but they basically give them out to members in the form of those lower interest rates on loans and higher interest rates on your checking savings. All right. Last question before we wrap it up. When it comes to a financial topic, a money topic that you're like, man, I'd love to know more about this, what would that be?
I would say investing, because I want to invest in crypto or stocks. But when I go down to the actual reading of the markers and maybe looking at some day trading, it can get very complicated. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about investing and how I can invest a little more wisely. I've already started with the credit unions, like I said, the highest interest rates. that's been a big game changer. I've always had a savings account growing up, but it never really picks up any interest. So if I could have been in a credit union to start off, I mean, I could have been made so much more money just for letting it sit there.
Well, guess what? Investing continues to be the number one interest amongst millions of 18 to 35-year-olds. So that's what we're going to be able to do. Again, help you in so many ways. Ashton, you've been a wonderful guest on the Financial Rebellion podcast. Love what you're doing. Keep on keeping on, man. Remember, take one step at a time. Don't let the world tell you that you got to be successful tomorrow, which you've shared that you know that, which is huge because you said it saved you 30 grand. Take your time and let time do the heavy lifting, not only in your entrepreneurial pursuits, but also investing. And we'll be able to, we'll share more with you, of course, in the newsletter. It's what we have. It's what we're all about. So, Ashton, any parting words for the being on the Financial Rebellion podcast? It was so fun to have you.
I just want to thank you again for having me on. It's been a blast, and I love what you're doing and educating young people. I think we need more people like you. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really get taught in school this day and age, and just whatever we can do to help people more vigilant towards financial rebellion. I support it all the way, and I'll be looking out for your newsletter and reading more into it so I can brush up on my investing skills.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate your time, Ashton. Thanks for being on the Financial Rebellion podcast, and we will see all of you in the next episode coming soon.
Thank you. I will also apologize for my cat as well.